Assalamu alaikum friends. Today we are going to talk about Marxism, its definition, its basic concept, why and how this theory was emerged. We will especially discuss it with the literary point of view and let's see who was Karl Marx and what did he say. So let's move to topic. Basically friends, this topic is more related with economics because it talks about the wealth and class system, but today we are going to discuss it from literary point of view. So what the Karl Marx says here is about the equal distribution of wealth. As per the person's abilities, he should be given wealth according to Marxism. So in order to understand it thoroughly, we need to discuss first the background. The background is that the human has basically two kinds of needs, two kinds of drives. The first is the constant drive without which the human cannot exist. The primary drive, that is the basic need, food, water and oxygen. Another drive is the relative drive, which is the economical one. Like if the human will survive, wants to survive, he has to take some job or work to support the family. That is the second need, the relative need, right? And to understand Marxism completely, first we need to understand its historical perspective. In beginning, when the society was not developed, people were not civilized. The human used to earn and live by only himself. They used to hunt and feed themselves. Gradually, the societies developed. People started living in families. The first thing they started to do was they engaged with the agriculture. The main source of earning was agriculture, and here now the main thing started. Some of the people started possessing the properties, like possessing the lands. They became the landowners and they started utilizing the other people as the workers and the labor. So the society has two main concepts, the two main class systems emerged. The poor class system, the other one was the rich class system, the owner and the slave. So this was the basic concept I wanted to say here. In this sense, two terms were framed according to Marxism. The bourgeois class, bourgeois is a German based word which means the capitalist, and the other was proletariat. Proletariat refers to the class which is engaged in the industrial production, the labor class. Now let's discuss some important terms in Marxism. The first term is the mode of production, right? The mode of production and how it is different from means of production. First I will explain what is mode of production. It can be agriculture, industry or farming. It can be any source of earning. The mode, which means the source. The other term is the means of production, which is mainly the tools, the items which is required for that production, for that thing to be produced. So there is a difference between the mode of production and means of production. Third thing we will discuss here is the relation of production. Now here it means to say that Karl Marx wants to say that the relationship between the landowner and the worker. Karl Marx says that the very relationship between the owner and the worker is based on exploitation. It is based on the discrimination. The bourgeois class uses the proletariat class and exploits the rights of the poor class. As a result, the owner becomes richer day by day and the worker remains the same. From the years back until now, he remains the same. The fourth concept is the of commodity and commodification. According to Karl Marx theory, commodity is something that is bought and sold and exchanged in the market. It is value which represents the quantity of human labor. Commodity, as we all know, is some item which we purchase from market for our need. And what is commodification? Here it wants to say, just like the items which are purchased in the market, the humans are utilized in the same sense as the items. Like they are such a tools to earn money or to produce revenue. So this was the concept of commodification. Now commodity has some values. It has three kinds of values. The first one is the use value. What is use value? We buy any item from market to satisfy our requirement. That is the use value, right? Any tangible item or any feature which is exchangeable is called sign exchange value. For example, if we buy one thing, if you want to exchange it with other thing in the same price, that is called the sign exchange value. In a simple example, I will try to explain you like this. If 1 dozen of banana is exchanged with 1 kg of rice having the equal value, and this example can be considered for multiple items and in multiple ways. So this is called the sign exchange value. Now what is surplus value? The third value I say. Surplus is the word shows that something in excess. Now here I will explain you through example. For example, a factory produces 5 crores per year and it is the labor of 1000 people. Every year it produces this much amount. Because of some reasons or because of some circumstances prevailing in the society, the company can produce 7 crore. Now the benefit which is given will all go to the capitalist or the factory owner. He will become richer. If he is getting 2 crore in surplus, he will not equally give it, or he will not increase the amount in the salary of a poor factory worker. So this is called the surplus value. Here according to Marxist, the Karl Marx wants to say, when the surplus or amount is enjoyed by the factory owner, this creates the feeling of alienation in the mind of the labor. What is alienation? Alienation is a withdrawal, separation or estrangement, the feeling of hatred. The worker becomes alienated from the service. He becomes disappointed from entire system. He becomes alienated and he hates his own life. He starts hating the entire social system. Another concept introduced by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels is of dialectics. What is dialectics or dialectical materialism? It says here that the imaginative world or the world of the fiction, the literary world, has the secondary value or no value, but the materialistic things or the objects has the entire value. Dialectics emphasizes that the importance of real world conditions in terms of class, labor, economic, socio-economic conditions have all the importance, right? So this was the main concept. Now the crux of the whole lecture is based on the two things, the base and the superstructure. As we know, in a society, there is the social system, political system, economic system, socio-economic system, religious system, ethical system. All these systems jointly make complete society. This is the base of a country, this is the base of a society. As much as the base is strong, it can build multiple stories on it. Here in this Marxism theory, Karl Marx wants to convey here that the whole society is based on the base and superstructure. The superstructure is the capitalist, which automatically will grow and become richer and richer because he had accumulated an amount of money and he will enjoy that surplus amount, and the base will always create and will always produce revenue, and the enjoyment will go to the capitalist class. Communist Manifesto book was published in 1848 by Karl Marx and by Friedrich Engels jointly. They both were the economics and the German philosophers. They were considered as rebels and they were expelled from their country. They went to some other place in Europe and they started writing on Communist Manifesto, and this is all about it. They gave the concept of socialism. So socialism, in socialist system, there is no competition in the market. Like socialist system is having the equal wealth for all. This was the Karl Marx concept of communism, like even all people will get the same amount of money living in society. So nobody will struggle, nobody will compete for the good social status. So this Karl Marxist concept has no practical approach. So this is all about the Marxism. Hope you understand this lecture, friends. If you understand, do write in the comments box. If you want me to make a lecture on any other topic, also please do communicate. Thank you so much.